guys, welcome back. This is Friend. Today we're going to be talking about the American dream, or should I say the American nightmare. So many Americans were sold this idea of the American dream. So if you go to school, study, work hard enough, you will be able to achieve the American dream. However, unless you plan on doing certain things specifically regarding your own personal life, your own personal finances, there will not be an American dream for you. There will be an American nightmare, and I'm gonna tell you why. So first of all, what is the American dream? The concept of the American dream is the ideal that every person living in the United States or every citizen of the United States has an equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity as long as they're willing to work hard, put in the work day after day, year after year, decade after decade. But all of that would be fine if you are able to manage your personal finance properly. However, if you are not able to do so, you will be living the American nightmare. And what is the American nightmare? The American nightmare is being able to buy a house at all costs, and simply because that's what society dictates. But if you follow that and you buy a house regardless, knowing that you're not in the right financial shape to buy a house, knowing that you cannot comfortably afford a house, knowing that you cannot easily make the monthly payments, pay the monthly utilities, and maintain that house, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. Ideally, you should be buying a house if you can make the monthly payments comfortably and have those monthly housing costs be 30% or less of your gross pay. If you have to work multiple jobs, 2, 3, 4 jobs to be able to afford a mortgage, honestly, you should not be buying a house, because you will be spending more time working at those jobs than you will be spending in that house to enjoy that house. You will essentially be working for the house instead of the house being beneficial to you, a place where you can relax and enjoy yourself. Yes, owning a house and owning your home can be a great thing, provided that you've made the right financial decisions in acquiring that house. However, if you're not able to comfortably afford that house, you will have spent 30 years paying off a mortgage for a house that you so desperately wanted to buy, but you will barely be able to afford living in that house. All you'll end up doing is enriching the bank that lent you that money to buy that house. The same goes for any vehicles that you have. The average monthly payment for a brand new car, according to Bentrate.com, is $716 per month. If you are an average American and you're making an average income, paying that much in terms of monthly payment for a car is financial suicide. Yes, you will have that nice car that you wanted to have, but at the same time, you'll be destroying or completely eliminating your chances of ever become financially free. Because hundreds of dollars that you could possibly have monthly to invest over a period of years and be able to create wealth will be going towards a depreciating asset, something that 5 to 10 years from now will have virtually no residual value. While you think that you're living the American dream, that car payment that is so unaffordable to you, just like an unaffordable mortgage, is destroying your finances, therefore contributing to your American nightmare. In addition, the average American has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you are someone who constantly adds purchases to your credit cards, buying stuff that you do not need to impress people that couldn't care any less if they tried, you will be stuck in credit card debt worth thousands of dollars at a high interest rate of at least 18+%. And for the great majority of your adult life, you will be constantly paying off credit card debt that will never be paid off. If you currently have high interest credit card debt, if you currently have high interest consumer debt, your primary and only goal should be to eliminate that debt as soon as you possibly can. Because if you do not, that debt will be like a malignant cancer spreading throughout your finances, making things worse and worse as time goes by. And lastly, if you have student loan debt, it's the same thing that applies. If you're watching this video and you haven't gotten into student loan debt, meaning you're just going to college or you're just a year or two into college, I strongly urge you to reconsider what you're majoring in, what you're trying to get a degree in. Because if you're racking up tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt and you will be graduating with a degree that will not help you to get a great job that can help you pay off those loans, you're making a serious mistake. And while higher education is supposed to free you, it's supposed to empower you, it will be crippling to you. And it will inevitably contribute to an American nightmare as opposed to the American dream. And if you currently have student loan debt, likely tens of thousands of dollars, and even worse, over $100,000, your one and only goal should be to do everything that you possibly can to pay off that debt. It's not going to be easy. It's something that you've accumulated over years. It's going to take years, but there's no way you can possibly have the American dream, having an unaffordable mortgage, an unaffordable car payment, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, and student loan payments. It's simply not possible. And if you are in that predicament right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And realize that having to make so many monthly payments for decades to come is not only overwhelming, it's not only discouraging and leaving you feeling helpless, but it's also mentally draining and changing your entire perspective about what the American dream should be. And your perspective is being changed from American dream to American nightmare. And how do you prevent all of this? How do you prevent living the American nightmare, but instead living the American dream? Is by willing to make sacrifices that the average American will not make. Make certain decisions, make certain plans, and implement those plans while at the same time staying consistent, even though it may not be an easy thing to do, even though it may not be the most popular thing to do. You have to have a mindset where you stop copying others simply because of what society dictates that you should do. Stop copying the Joneses and living like they do simply because you want to fit in. You have to be able to prioritize yourself and your family. Financially speaking, nothing else matters. You have to ensure that you and your family are secure now and will be financially secure in the future. You have to stop buying homes and vehicles that you certainly know are unaffordable to you, but you buy them anyway, simply to create the false appearance of success to your friends, to your family, and to your coworkers. If you are not financially ready to buy a house, then you should not be buying a house. If you are not able to comfortably afford a brand new car, then you should be able to accept buying a car that is safe enough to drive you from point A to point B. That's it. You have to resist the temptation and have the discipline to seriously limit and cut back on your credit card purchases and avoid to the best that you possibly can adding purchases to your credit card unless you can pay off that credit card in full when the statement is made. You have to be willing and commit to paying off high interest debt as fast as you possibly can. Whatever you're gonna have to do to get extra income, do it so that you can have the extra income to pay off that high interest debt, because that high interest debt is killing your finances. Unless you're willing to make those difficult decisions, unless you're willing to make these sacrifices that the average person is not willing to make, your expensive house, your expensive vehicles, and your expensive clothing not only will not impress anyone, but will help you create the prime example of the American nightmare. So be willing to make the difficult decisions, to make the sacrifices that the average person is not willing to make, to pay off your high interest consumer debt, to buy homes and vehicles that you're able to comfortably afford, and remain consistent for years and possibly a couple decades so that you can actually live the American dream instead of signing up for the American nightmare that tens of millions of American adults have signed up for, with no real plans to make any positive changes anytime soon. Having to make debt payment constantly, living paycheck to paycheck, working multiple jobs is not a dream. It's an absolute nightmare. That's all. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell button so that you can receive notifications as soon as I release my next video. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.